Las Vegas, Sandy Kastel and friends.
Hi, and welcome to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Where's Chef Michael? Where's Chef Michael?
Standing up.
Oh, he's right here. We were trying to get the seat fixed for you. But anyway, good morning, good morning. How are you today, Chef Michael?
Good. I got up early this morning, and I was thinking of our engineer. Monday.
Look at this. Feast.
I made John, take a shot of that. Okay, and then today, we made. I made a frittata with the frittata pepperoni with the peppers and compliments of truffles and bacon because we had an open house yesterday. All those gorgeous hors d'oeuvres that they brought in, and people really. We went house hunting in our neighborhood. You know, there was about 7-8 houses up for sale. You know what I mean? And it's so fun to walk into these homes and take a look at other people, how they live. You know, and there was just one house that we went into that there was not that much furniture in it. The people, you know, what do they want, $1.5 million or something like that? And it's amazing when you ask that kind of money for a home. Okay, over $1 million for a house, and you walk into a place and there's no furniture in it.
Well, there was some, but you could tell that they had taken
a lot of stuff out. Yeah. There's something that's missing. I'm a firm believer in something. When you turn around and you want to sell a house for $1 million, do yourself a favor.
Deck it out.
Deck it out, man. Make it like the model homes.
Deck it out. Deck it out.
Because I remember when I first bought my house years ago in the 70s, I went into a model home. And when I said, "Oh my God, this place is gorgeous," and I bought it. And when I got the house, I said, "Wait a minute, where's the paperwork and where's the wallpapering and where's that border around it?" No, the guy said, "That's the model home." He said, "That's another $25,000 worth of stuff that you got to put in the house." I got white walls. I just got white walls, no curtains, no nothing. I'm going back in, years and years ago, back in the 80s, and I paid $700 a month then for a mortgage. And my God, it was like all the money in the world. Big money them days for a house. Now today, look what you got. The houses are very cheap today. You could buy a beautiful home for $9 million. This cheap.
A beautiful home for $9 million.
$500.
Maybe if you're the Grosser.
Or the Tanners, the trillionaires. You got the Tanners. Now the Tanners jumped on the bandwagon. I got these people coming in.
Well, they do all live in that nice section in Canyon Gate.
Well, of course, and I got to tell you something.
But wait a minute, so do we.
That's right. But there's some nice people. And I said this before, Sandy. It's funny. Last night we were at the
Sienna's Italian Trattoria.
We had a great time last night. And you get the same gang that always comes out and sees you, and we had a lot of fun. And Jimmy Melodor was there naturally.
We had some new faces too.
New faces that came in, and we always have a lot of fun. That's at that establishment. But we always enjoy ourselves. And what was fun, what I really enjoyed yesterday.
What?
I can't remember what I really enjoyed yesterday. I don't have a clue.
Let me get your microphone set.
Thank you. Yeah, then T. Fox came in, our buddy.
Oh my gosh!
And T came in, and he's such a nice
Entertainer of the Year award winner.
I always say that he's such a nice kid. He's just a good-hearted man. And then Monique Brewster. Brewster.
Oh, she looks so adorable. I love
Monique
those shoes.
Brewster.
Yes.
Yeah, Monique Brewster came in. She's such a dollar kid. And I apologize because what happened is towards the end of the night, what we got is a show. Me, I don't want to hear ballads. Get up there, swing, knock 'em dead, swing. And towards the end of the night, last night, I had what was his name? My friend that came up and sang. Tom Nelly.
Yes, Tom Nelly was there.
I go back 25 years with Tom, and he's got all his hair.
Yeah, he does.
All his hair. And Tom.
But that's hereditary, Michael. You can't do anything about that.
And Tom said to me, I said, "Come on, Tom, sit in. We're closing out the show. It was coming to the end of the night." I says, "Come on out and do it." No, he says, "I don't want to do that." He says, "Mike, I can't do that swing stuff. I just do ballads." I said, "No problem." So I got him up, and I said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close the night out. You were gone, John Styles. You were home changing your high heels." So I went out and I says, "Come on." Tommy got up and sang a beautiful song, and then I got CeCe Spencer.
Yes.
What a sweetheart that kid is.
I know.
And I always say she's not King Cole's niece or granddaughter.
You're always teasing her. She says, "No, I am not."
But she was.
Please don't let people think that.
She looks like the daughter.
Not that she wouldn't want to be.
She looks like the daughter. I mean, she could pass for a cousin of
beautiful.
Natalie Cole.
Yeah.
Statuesque, She's about 6
she's
foot.
much prettier.
Absolutely
I love Natalie.
beautiful woman. You know what I'm trying to say to you? There's women that are sexy looking. It's like Sandy. Sandy is a beautiful woman. You know what I'm trying to say to you? And she'll be beautiful. You know, because I had an aunt, my Aunt Lucy. I'll never forget it. And I was 19 years old, and I was playing in Miami Beach, and my grandmother called her up and said, "Send my grandson home." She was crying. And my aunt walked over, and I looked at my aunt, and she was so, and I said to my mother, she was so beautiful. She was 60 years old at that time. And my aunt had powder blue eyes and jet black hair. My Aunt Esther. And she just was beautiful. And there's some women that are out there are just gorgeous.
You know what?
Sandy, you're one of them.
We have a beautiful woman on the phone right now.
Who is this beautiful woman, Sandy?
Yes, this is Josephine Corsino.
Not Josephine
from
Corsino.
Australia.
Oh my God!
Oh my gosh. Hi,
Josephine.
Hello, Sandy.
How are you?
Good morning. Good, thank
morning.
you. And hello, KLAF listeners.
No. KLAV.
KLAV listeners. Yeah, sorry.
No, is she calling from Australia?
Las Vegas.
Yes, she is. And I got to tell you, Josephine, I didn't know that you couldn't get like a toll-free call in on this. So, you let me know when you need to go, because if it adds up too much.
Here, and we can call for free internationally.
No.
You can?
Yeah. Well,
yes, we can, yes.
You just, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
Nothing. I was coughing. I ate a piece of meatball.
So what did you say, Josephine?
Meatballs this time of morning?
Yeah, I love it.
So were you saying that you were able to call toll-free?
Yes, I was able to call toll-free with a card, yes.
Oh, good,
we can buy in Australia, yes.
Okay, great. So, she is an actress. She's a model.
That's correct.
And she's also the host of a wonderful show on, it's 97.7, is that correct?
That's correct, FM, yes.
And it's KC
Radio.
KC Radio. That's right.
That's correct, yes, yes.
So now, how long have you been in the business?
Well, I've been actually, I started 11 years ago, yes. And I've been in radio now for 5 years. And
I know I saw some pretty interesting pictures of you on on the website. So now, what are all those pictures? You got some. Those were modeling pictures. You did an ad for a beer company.
Yeah, that's correct. I did an ad for a beer company, and it was for Carlton Draft Australia's Fosters, and we didn't know that it was a surprise that it went up in Cannes. It went up in Cannes Film Festival, Cannes Film Festival.
Yes,
in France.
I know.
And it won multiple awards throughout the world, and I put them on the world map, the beer, and now it sells out.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah,
that's wonderful.
and we put the company on the world. So yeah, we didn't know that it was all secretive, and yeah, so it really exploded.
Yeah. So now was acting a passion for you when you were a child?
Well, no, it wasn't actually. I fell into it. I wanted to be a prop buyer in the film industry, and they put me in front of the camera, and one day a director said, "Actor, she's been noticed," to my agent. I didn't know what it meant, and then I fell in love with the front side of the camera. So I never really got to do props. I tried, they didn't let me. They still wanted me to be an actor.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well,
I did try props, but
yeah, you still want to do that, right?
Yeah.
Well, but now you have interviewed a lot of famous people from around the world.
Yes, I have. I've helped a lot of up and coming artists, rap artists, and also bands like people like Big Rome, Black Raw, OJ, people that couldn't get airplay throughout America, so I got them I put them through Australia, because we go across live throughout the whole world. And so I helped them out here, yes. And also independent artists in Australia and artists that have been signed in Australia also.
Okay. Now, also it says you've acted in some Bollywood movies.
Yes, I did act in a Bollywood movie. It was the famous, I can't recall, the highest paid Hollywood actor I worked with.
Who's that?
In
Which
Bollywood.
one? At what time?
Yeah, I can't remember his name, but apparently it's the famous one.
Brad Pitt?
Famous one, yeah.
Was it Brad Pitt?
The highest paid one in Bollywood.
Oh, in Bollywood.
Inrun.
Okay.
Inrun, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I see. And then now, how did that come about?
Well, what happened was just I couldn't, how we go into slumps with acting, with our business. We're in a slump, and I asked a friend of mine, if there's any work. He goes, look, bring up this girl, and she'll help you. And then I fell into that, and she got me on there, and I actually ended up being featured with Run, which was a surprise. And then from that, I went into an agency, and just exploded, just created a monster. And then I won an award for a Cadbury chocolate company, which is Picnic. I don't know whether you have Cadbury in America.
Do we have Cadbury in America?
I won a commercial, to do a commercial in Australia. So, I did a commercial for them.
I'm sorry, everybody is signaling me here. What, John?
Cadbury Easter eggs.
Oh, Cadbury Easter eggs?
Love Cadbury.
Yeah, Cadbury. It's a chocolate bar. We call it there's one that's called Picnic. Cadbury Easter eggs. Yeah, they do make the Easter eggs. Yes, yes.
That's great.
And I do love.
Where did Chef Michael go? Chef Michael, come back here. Come back here. I want you to talk with Josephine about.
Yeah, I saw Chef Michael on the internet site. Yeah, I saw you working alongside him.
Yeah, I know. He made a great frittata this morning for Ryan here in the studio, and brought some of the sandwiches that Truffles and Bacon made for us. Yesterday we had an open house in Canyon Gate, and so one of our sponsors and friends is Truffles and Bacon. And they make all kinds of things, and it's not just about bacon. There's all kinds of great things that they make, and they brought a bunch of sandwiches over for us, so we brought some of those today too. So, and as you know, we always have the cooking segment with Chef Michael, but he walked out. I guess he figured we wanted to just have a private conversation here. Huh?
Will that be showing in Australia?
Well, you can get it on online at.
I'll be certainly watching it.
Yeah, on YouTube you can see it. You can see Sandy Kastel and Friends, and you can see the different shows because John Stiles puts them up every afternoon. In fact, your show will be up today, and also we are rebroadcast on KLAV at midnight, and we are also on Vegas All Net Radio at 10 p.m. So yeah. Yeah, we're out there.
It's great. Yeah. And I also saw your song, Sandy, Indiana Rain, which was fantastic.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. You've got a beautiful voice.
Thank you. Well, I had a lot of fun filming that back in Nashville. So tell us about 97.7 FM.
97.7 FM is a community radio, and it helps a lot of ethnic people. It gives a lot of grants to people. It helps a lot of people get a head start. It's number 3 in Australia in community radios. It's classed at number 3. Okay, and they actually helped me get my start, and when I was doing promotions, and they actually help a lot of people, and they help school children. I actually helping a little boy now, Darcy, who sometimes that are facing adversity, right? And I get him on my 70s and 80s show, and I've got an Italian show, but he loves 70s and 80s. He's an old little soul. He's about 8, and he knows all about the 70s and 80s. And I've got him on my show, and I'm helping him get a head start on radio.
Is he one of your co-hosts? You mean?
He's 8.
Is he a co-host though? Do you have him?
No.
You just interview him.
Get a little bit of a start. Yeah, okay. We want to help. We actually want to help the school, help all kids that are actually, that are interested in radio with children. We also go out into shopping centres and we do broadcasts for the football and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, we have on KRLV. We have a host that is 12 years old. Actually, she's probably 15 now, but I think she started at 9 years old, being a host of her own radio show. And of course she has a great team behind her family, which is wonderful, and her community just loves her. She's very professional, and she's very organized, and so yes, people can start.
I'd love to have her on my show if she'd like to be interviewed. That'd be great.
I'll let them know. Yeah, they would love that. And so if you're, I've got an organization called WEMA, Women and Men in Music and Arts.
Yes, I saw that. Yes, I did see see that.
And it's empowering artists of all ages through education, mentoring, and scholarships. And as an actress, as a model, as a show host, as and being on all these shows, and as a mentor yourself, what would be the one key thing that you would tell to young artists just starting out in the industry?
Never give up.
Never give up. I love that.
Never give up. You're going to get a lot of setbacks, a lot of probably kicks in the gut. That's what I say. But just never give up and follow your dreams, and always try to be a good human being along the way.
That's great. I love that. Well, is there anything else you want to tell our listeners out there, Josephine?
I want to say just thank you, Sandy, very much for giving me this opportunity to be on your show, and thank you to the American audience in Las Vegas for having me. This has been an honor, and it's been surreal. Thank you very much to all you guys, and tune in to 97.7 FM. And Sandy, I'd love for you to come on my show one day and soon, and tell my listeners about you.
I think that'd be great. Now, do you have a website also that people can go and find out more about you?
Yeah, you could just look up, search my name, Josephine Corsino, or Joe Corsino, and 97.7 FM comes up.
And everything will come up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you.
Josephine Corsino or Joe Corsino, or on my YouTube site, Josephine Corsino, and you can see everything I do in radio.
Okay, great. Josephine Corsino, check her out, 97.7, Australia, KC Radio.
Thank you very much, Sandy.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, hello. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. And we're going to go to a break. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
More recipes, more fun. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. Chef Michael, did you take a little break there, get some coffee, and now you're back? Did you bring forks for us so we can have a little bit of this frittata?
No, that's not for you, Sandy. That's for John Stiles and the engineer, the kid.
Oh, no.
No, it's a funny thing.
I'm so hungry.
We got somebody on the line, don't we?
Yes, we do. We have Jeff Timmons of 98 Degrees.
Not
Hi,
Jeff
Jeff. How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys? I mean, I'm hearing all these advertisements for food. I hear you guys talking about food, and all I want to do is now eat some food.
Jeff, where you from, buddy?
I'm from Ohio originally.
Uh-oh, an East Coast boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Midwest.
we consider it Midwest, and then Pennsylvania considers themselves East Coast, and it gets the lines get blurred, and then we don't know what the heck's going on. But nonetheless, all the food you guys are talking about has got me quite hungry this early in the morning. How are you folks?
Good, good. What we did is we queued up a couple of your songs, "Impossible Things" and "Microphone."
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Two very different songs, but awesome.
One by
you guys have them queued up.
Yeah, one by Irving Berlin, the other one by Count Basie. I'm telling you, these are the wonderful things. Is that the one?
Both written by legends.
I'm kidding with you. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from. I'm in Vegas right now.
Oh, you're in Las Vegas. Oh my God.
You're here?
Oh, you should have come.
Yeah.
Well, how come you aren't in the studio?
In the studio with us.
Oh my gosh.
I would be in the studio with you live and in person, but I just got back in town. I was in Los Angeles and in Orange County and Atlantic City and Philly, and I've been kind of traveling around.
Atlantic City? Did you go?
Nonetheless, happy to be on the phone with you guys.
Thank you. Did you go to the White House Hoagies in Atlantic City?
Oh, man, I didn't have time. I was doing an EDM dance convention there and kind of co-hosting that and presenting awards, and didn't get a chance to, and you guys know how this goes. I mean, you don't get a chance to really experience the culture of the city you're in when you're working. So
I know.
I did not get a chance to go to White House Hoagies.
Have you been there before?
Atlantic City, yeah. I mean, this is actually the second time in the last month and a half that I've been there. So,
well, I took Sandy back east. I took her to that place, and ladies and gentlemen, for those that don't know about the White House, A hoagie, we call it back east a hoagie. New York City a hoagie. Here they call it a hero, a sub.
We're sub. Yeah,
right, sub. Am I
they
right?
Call them subs all the time. We call them hoagies in Ohio, too.
No exaggeration. And, Jeff, you're going to have to back me on this. 1.5 feet. 1.5 feet that's how long that hoagie is. Am I right or wrong?
That's how long the hoagie is, but me and getting up into my elderly ages, I can't have the bread. So
You're
what I do
me.
is I go and ask for the hoagie with just the meat and the cheese and the fixins, and honestly, they'll tell you sometimes no, they won't do it. They will not prepare it that way.
You mean you can't eat the bread? That's the whole thing of a sandwich, like the Philadelphia bad steak.
No kidding. Yeah, but I'm trying to keep my girlish figure.
Well, I'm 62 years old.
How's that working for you?
And I got my girlish figure because we have our cameraman John Stiles, who's a cross-dresser, and he. No, I'm kidding. Well, anyway, guys.
These days, everybody's going to expect to see a photo of John Stiles in his high heels and chaps.
Oh my
Hey,
God!
look, I live in Vegas now, so anything is possible out here.
Well, you know something? Next week we're at Sienna's Italian cuisine. It's a supper club on Sahara and
Sienna's. You know Sienna's
it's
over
on Sahara and Fort
West
Apache.
Sahara.
And the 5th of October, which is next month, we're doing a concert with my Sandy's dad, Dick Kastel, 16-piece orchestra, myself, Sandy, Jimmy, the great Jimmy Melodoro on saxophone, Peter Pavone, phenomenal singer, David DaCosta, and Mark Jehovy, and myself. And it's $35 a ticket and a sit-down dinner. You know what's funny? You can't get that anywhere in Las Vegas.
You know what? That's like old school Vegas.
Right.
They're trying to bring that back, and I think that's something that, you're bringing that up right now. I think that's something that's going to sort of make its way and have its introduction back into Vegas, where it actually all started.
Well, next
you guys
Wednesday,
are ahead of the curve on that one.
Yes, next Wednesday we're there. Our show starts at 8, and I want to invite you down as my guest if you get a chance. We got a packed house. You'll have a great time.
I would love to be there. Hopefully, I'll be in town. I would absolutely thank you. I'm honored and would be happy to be there.
All right.
Jeff, it's interesting, talking about old school. What's happened is, as you know, being here, that we've got a lot of Cirque shows, which are great. They're really beautiful shows. But that's what we have in most of the showrooms around town now. And we don't have a lot of the lounges like we used to have, where we'd have these great bands come and perform, and all the comedians would come in, and it was a 2-drink minimum, and where you could see people as they were up and coming also. And even out in LA, they do that. Remember where they have the cool clubs, and we don't have that as much anymore. And so
no, you don't. And I gotta say, you kind of feel it coming back into existence. I mean, one of the things that I've been fortunate enough to write a column for Robin Leach. A good friend of mine, Seth Udoff, just wrote one, and we both kind of spoke upon the same things. And Seth is out here producing shows in Vegas, and that Vegas sort of became for a little while a place where people would go for their fading careers.
Yeah.
And it used to be
right.
a place where it was exclusive, exciting, where you could experience all those things. And look, with the DJs starting to come back here, and stars starting to take small residencies here. In fact, I saw Britney last night.
Yeah.
And that was an amazing show. I mean, I think it's got to go back that way, towards more of the entertainment route, as opposed to, let's go see a show, let's go hang out, but mainly gamble.
Right.
I think it's definitely going back to what you guys are talking about.
But the key is, Jeff, just so you know, you go see a Cirque show, it's $189. It's magnificent, don't get me wrong, but you ain't going to go see a Cirque show every night. Versus the way Vegas used to be.
You can't afford to buy the ticket, to get here, to pay for the hotels, to pay for the food, and then go see great entertainment like you're talking about. You're talking about comedians, a live band, and the names you mentioned are, if folks don't know them, they need to Google them, because those gentlemen you talked about are extraordinarily talented. Not to mention you're going to be there, and for $35, I mean, what a bargain.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, honey. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was going to say, Jeff, you had a kind of an interesting start, because you didn't just start out, playing music. You were going to school. You were studying psychology. Psychology.
Yeah,
How
I
did
mean,
you,
I was studying psychology, and look, I was great in high school, but once I got to college, it was a whole new environment when your parents aren't around. So I was skipping around from school to school, and you know, all of a sudden you can hang out with girls and you can drink beer, and you know, so yeah, the start wasn't exactly your typical I'm starting a band and here are the guys and this is what you're playing. No, it was us at school trying to impress girls. It's not the most flattering story, of course, on the planet, but you know, it's what became the catalyst for what turned into 98 Degrees. So
right.
I was having a good time with it, and you know, I was living vicariously through my friends, and you know, sort of loosening up through school, and then look, all of a sudden, music sort of occurred on me. I'd always been a part of it in my life, but when I got to college and I could see that, you know, it brought you attention. Yes. You know, I thought it was something that I wanted to pursue instead of getting my degree, which I would not encourage or discourage kids from going to school, but it was just something I fell into that ended up being a blessing for me, and I've had a great life as a result.
Jeff, let me ask you a question, if I may. How old are you?
41.
How old?
41.
41. My son's 4. He'll be 46. You know, and you just, when I say everybody, I got guys 70. I call him a kid. My era that we
As
did.
As we get older, we
yes, I know.
Everybody kids.
My era, you know what I mean? It was the Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and it was Creedence Clearwater Revival, and it was, you know, that kind of acts. But me, I leaned to the 40s. My grandfather raised me, my mother, and that kind of Earl Bostic, Sam Butera, that Louis Prima, that kind of style of music. So at 62 years old, really my era was the Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, great acts. But I never cared for that.
Talking about legendary acts that sadly, you know, a lot of kids in the era now, you know, I have a 15-year-old daughter, and of course I've got a lot of younger kids too. We have a whole bevy of kids over here. They have no idea of the talent, the lyrical talent that those folks had. Not only that, the musical talent with regards to instruments, because of programming and technology today. So to have been influenced by Blood, Sweat, and Tears and CCR and all those groups, I mean, of course, I'm a musicologist, so I know all about them. But sadly, kids nowadays don't know about that kind of talent. I mean, the sonics have changed and everything else. I mean, not to sound like age ourselves and sound like old fogies talking, but you know, those guys are like legendary, innovative, game-changing artists.
Right.
We got a friend of mine named Carl Grosso. He's a billionaire, and the Tanners, who are trillionaires, they're friends of ours. They listen to Guy Lombardo and Tex Benege. I couldn't believe it. And these guys are like 50 years old.
Now, if they heard that, they're listening. And you got to know, Jeff, our friends are on the golf course. They're playing golf. And what they do is Lisa will be sitting on the patio, and she's got the show, and she'll be blaring it, you know, on the golf course. And so people are hearing it out there. And then they'll sit and watch it later on YouTube because, of course, you're not here in the studio with us, but that's okay. We're going to put some pictures and stuff up of you on the YouTube program.
But you know, Sandy, it's amazing when I talk about Carl Grosso because everybody knows who he is. He's the billionaire. He invented the potato peeler.
Actually, he was trying to keep it a secret.
Right,
and he was trying to stay under the radar. But what happened is, you know, he can't stay under the radar anymore.
But when we go golfing with him, the average color of the ball is white. Am I right? Have you, Jeff?
Yeah,
have you golfed?
I mean, traditionally, when you golf, I'm not much of a golfer. I'm more of like a cart driving beer drinker. Do a couple of holes and then, you know, and then.
Well, you know, it's usually
I let the experts do their thing, but yeah, I think the ball's usually white.
It's white, so white or orange or yellow. I use the yellow ball so I can see where I'm going many times, you know. But with Carl,
find the ball when it goes in the grass.
Carl Grosso and Bill Tanner, okay, he's
a yellow ball.
These guys got a green. They got a green ball with a $sign, you know, marked on it. And I say, what the hell? These are special balls.
They're looking for their money.
They're special balls. They hit, and then they go, look, and it's wrapped with real money.
I know. Well, listen, Jeff, hold on a second, you know, because we're going to go to a quick break. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael and our special guest today, Josephine Corsino from Australia from 97.7, and also Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsor.
Yeah, he's a beer guzzling guy.
Everybody's a winner. This is Sandy Kastel and Friends. Here again, your host, Sandy Kastel.
Hi, and welcome back to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show with Chef Michael. We've got Jeff Timmons on the phone of 98 Degrees. Hey, Jeff, you're here in Vegas now, so and you're living here, and you got a 15-year-old daughter. What do you do to mentor her as she's growing up?
Well, I've done the best I can. I'm in the music business, so I'm not exactly your run-of-the-mill dad that has a 9-to-5 job. So she's kind of learned as we've gone along. But we have a mixed family. I'm remarried and got a wonderful wife, and we have 5 kids.
5?
So we have 15, 14, 12, 8, and 2.5. So we have 5 kids over here. So I guess the more kids you have, they can kind of teach themselves. And
or they teach you. They teach the parents, actually. Yeah.
A 15-year-old daughter is, as you know, look, she's my firstborn, so it's really tough for me to give her the right advice, and I'm certainly protective over her, but I'm also a liberal kind of guy because I'm in the entertainment business and have been traveling the world and seen a lot of things and been blessed. But I just kind of let the universe kind of take over at times. You know what I mean? And try to be the best dad I can by example.
So now, are any of the kids in music?
You know what? They all are musically inclined, but they see what a tough business it is.
Yeah.
So, they're home with me where I'm trying to put things together and create shows, and I'm in the studio. When they go to bed, I go into the studio from, midnight to 5 in the morning and get up with them to get them ready for school at 8 o'clock. So they, I think they might get discouraged about the work ethic you have to be in this business. And you guys know it you both know it by being in the entertainment in your own respect, by being on the radio, how much preparation and work goes into it. So while they might like it, it'd have to be something they have a supreme passion for.
Yeah.
For me to encourage, I certainly wouldn't discourage anything that they want to do unless it was something that would hurt them. But yeah, it's a tough business to be in, and they see they're like, it's not as glamorous as you think. You get to do cool things, and I went on tour last summer with Boys II Men, my idols, and New Kids on the Block, and my group 98 Degrees, and they were on a tour bus, and we traveled the country, so that's glamorous. But the other 200 days of the year are preparation and work.
Well, so people don't see that are coming to the shows, or they don't really see that. But just like your daughter, I grew up. My dad's a saxophonist, and we moved here in 1963 when he joined Harry James Band, and so I got the opportunity to watch a lot of the shows from the light booth, and of course, and see that he practiced every single day at 7 a.m. He was practicing his horn for a couple of hours. He'd be practicing scales and doing this, and he was also made sure that he had other jobs. Even though he always worked as a musician, he always felt that he was compelled to make sure that he was never out of work, because if he was out of work for a week or two, that could make a big difference if he didn't have something else. So
then you and your family doesn't, you guys don't eat or pay rent.
That's right.
And it's like, people were aware that we sold 15 million records, but they don't know the amount of folks that were involved with that, who took pieces of it, and that's the same kind of thing. I mean, you got to take care of your family, and the music business is so unpredictable, and entertainment business in general. I have a lot of respect for your dad for doing that, and I can relate, because you got to, even if you're the most popular person on the planet, despite what TMZ may say you're making, there are people making money off of you at the same time, and you have to have responsibilities. And
that's right.
Music becomes a passion, and sometimes you're lucky enough to have enough success to make it a living.
That's right.
But it's not easy.
And the more you make, Jeff, the more it goes out, and the more responsibilities and obligations. And all of a sudden, when you've got somebody that is relying on you because now they're working for you to promote you, then you've got that extra added stress, that
pressure.
Pressure, and the industry is a lot different, especially now with the way that online business has changed everything. And you could say I sold 15 million records, but how much of that did you really put in your pocket?
Oh my goodness! I mean,
today,
and
you
people
know.
were saying, yeah. For example, you just said the music industry's changed, and because of online sharing and file sharing and viral and internet and social media and all that stuff. But when you're an artist, unless you're writing every one of your songs and getting publishing,
that's right,
royalties and things of that nature, as an artist, it doesn't matter. The records has not changed. I mean, selling 15 million records didn't put $15 million in my pocket.
That's right.
There was a lot that went into it. The label advances you. People don't know that they recoup what they put into it, which means you pay back the label for all those limo rides and those plane tickets.
Oh yeah, the label, when you're signed
and all that stuff, and they ultimately, you make money off of touring when you go and perform. That's why Britney is a megastar and tied with Mariah Carey for the most number ones worldwide, but she's still getting up and performing on stage. And
she still has to be the one out there doing that, right? Yeah. Well, because most of the money for artists nowadays, they have those 360 degrees. You know what the contracts, right?
Certainly.
Yeah. And now it used to be that they would, take a percentage of the sales of the CDs, and now it's that they take a percentage of every single thing, the merchandise and even the performing. But the performing is the biggest way that a lot of performers are really making their bread and butter, on a consistent basis. So I agree with you. Listen, we've got a caller. Flurry is on the phone. Hi, Flurry. How are you?
Good morning. The Lord is blessing. The Lord is blessing. We had an Ink Spot rehearsal last night.
Oh.
And it's been about 3 months since the guys rehearsed, and it blew me away. Everybody's notes were in key. They remembered the parts. It was just so fun to see those smiling faces, and we got a lot of stuff coming up. They're trying to get a main room downtown for us again.
That's great.
But this big band thing your dad has intrigues me. Chef Michael, you still there?
Oh, I never leave, my friend. I'm never there.
Man, good to hear your voice, you and Sandy. Oh, I love you guys so much. Look here, I gotta go.
Okay.
What day is that on the 5th of October? What day is that?
It's a Sunday night.
Okay, count me in. Get me a ticket. I'll give you the money for it next time I see you.
There's interest on that, Flurry. If I got to front your money, there's interest.
Exactly. I'll gladly pay you for a ticket today on Tuesday.
Wait until I sell another album.
You remember Popeye, huh?
Yes, I do. And Wimpy, that's Dr. Perry. That's who reminds me of Wimpy, because he's always eating hamburgers.
Thanks a lot, Flurry. We'll look forward to seeing you.
We love you, buddy. Thank you.
All right. See you later.
Okay.
Right.
Now, Jeff, there's a perfect example of somebody who, was with the Ink Spots. They get back together. They have these reunions, and they're still performing, and in different locations. I got to ask you a question, Jeff. What is your favorite Italian dish, so that Chef Michael can tell you how he would prepare it?
Oh, my gosh. I'm a big fettuccine. I know it's going to be a boring answer. I'm a big fettuccine Alfredo guy.
Easiest thing to make, son. The easiest.
Love it.
But I got to tell you something.
Favorite.
It's a balance. Very simple. This is what you do. Okay? You get yourself your butter. You melt your butter, and you get garlic, and you got to grind the garlic up in a food processor. You can't put big chunks of garlic in that. Almost like puree. Be very careful. And the only thing you need, and this is for 4 people, is a teaspoon. A teaspoon. Not a tablespoon or a ladle like some people would do. But just a teaspoon of garlic. And what happens is you saute that in the butter. And then you add yourself your cream. Now, one thing you do not boil the milk, because if you let that come to a boil, you're going to spoil that milk. It's going to turn sour.
Yeah.
Just get it warm, where you just see the smoke that's on the top. Shut it off. Take it off the gas. Then you get yourself, this is for 4 people, 4 yolks of an egg, not the whole egg, just the yolk. Put it in a bowl. Add your Parmesan cheese, parsley, black pepper. Don't touch it with the salt, because remember, Locatelli cheese, Romano cheese, it's salty. So you got to be very careful. Add your 2 big handfuls of the Parmesan cheese, and you mix it up in your raw egg, and then you mix it in the You turn it and you pour it in that hot milk, and then you put the fire back on, and then you stir it, and it starts to get real creamy. And once you get the consistency of that cream, you get yourself the linguine. That's what I use. I don't like fettuccine. It's too fat, too big of a pasta. So I like to go with the linguine, which is it's like a baby fettuccine. That's exactly what it is. And you boil your pound of pasta, and you pour that over. And I'm telling you something, son, you never had a fettuccine Alfredo like this in your life. That's how simple.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way right now. I'm on my way.
Hey, listen, Jeff.
Sounds great. That's delicious.
Yeah. You know, if you hang around Chef Michael, you got to come out. You got to come over sometime and have some of his meatballs and fettuccine Alfredo. I'll tell you, it's excellent. And once you eat his food, you are hooked for life. But
it sounds like it.
Yeah. But it's tough because you got to watch your waistline. I know.
Yeah, exactly. So while I like that, I never eat it. But anyway, I would make a special.
You have to make room for things like that.
The fact that he put that much effort into explaining on how it's made, I would be there in 2 seconds and give myself a day off. The luxury of eating that fettuccine.
Well, we're doing a show Saturday. We're shooting our television show. We're putting stuff in the can, and I'm so honored that we're going to be at the Tuscany Grill in Henderson.
Yeah.
And these people are very, very special friends of mine, and we're going to go in the kitchen. And the dish I'm going to make is I'm going to make a chicken marsala. I'm going to show the audience, the chef and I are going to show the audience I'm going to show how simple this dish is to make, and it's fantastic, because cooking at home and cooking in a restaurant is two different things, two completely different styles and two completely different things, but most people know how to cook at home, not in a restaurant. So, anyway.
Hey, listen, Jeff, I'd like to play one of your songs. Which one do you want me to play, Impossible Dreams or Microphone to start off with?
I like Impossible Things. I think that's more along the lines of a 98 Degrees style song, and definitely probably more suitable for your audience. Microphone's a little bit of a departure of what we normally did, but yeah, thank you so much for giving us the honor to play this song on your show, so thank you.
All right, well, hold on. We're going to play it right now. Impossible Things.
I want to bring back yesterday. I'd split atoms if I had, but I don't, so anyway, I want to ride it on the moon. Yeah, this love is like a dream that makes me do impossible things. Impossible things. Impossible. She was the only one to clear up all the scars that look just like a map. Too many stops and starts, and I'm just standing here like a tear that never drops. And I wasted the nouns and the verbs, and it's a shame she never heard. I wish this was a mixtape I could play, pause then erase, but it's love. I'm gonna march my own parade. I'm gonna bring back yesterday. I'd split atoms if I had.
Oh, I love that song.
Thank you.
That was cool. Now, but also you played with Jim Brickman. You went toured with him, and you got your own solo career too.
Yeah, I attempted it right after the 98 Degrees days the first time around. And of course Jim is an amazing guy, a great entrepreneur, brilliant artist, good friend. I've toured with him a couple of times. It was a great experience and quite a transition after being in 98 Degrees and then touring with Jim and his audience and his expertise. And yeah, I tried to come out with a solo thing, but music had been going through transition at that particular time. Unlike the rest of the world, the United States is very fickle with what's popular. So
yes, they are.
I came out with some stuff, tried my hand at it, but a lukewarm result. But now, of course, look, all those girls that were, 12, 13, 14 years old are now 22, 23, 24 years old.
That's right. That's right.
And now, we're 98 Degrees is kind of cool again. So now is I have a good option to do some solo music. I'm a big time writer and producer. I do a lot of writing and producing in the studio. I like that more than performing, and so I'm interested to see what the reaction will be to my music this time around.
That's cool. Well, just like life, we are constantly reinventing ourselves and morphing and growing. And if we're not, we're gone. We're not here. You know what I mean? So it's just normal that we're going to do that in our careers too, whatever they may be. And just like Chef Michael, he's constantly coming up with new things that he's fixing, even though he goes back to his heritage and he makes a lot of his grandmother's dishes and his aunt's dishes. Still he puts his touch to it. And in fact, creating new things. And I want to play a cut from my dad playing with us the other night. He came in and sat in with us Sunday night over at Sienna's. And so I'd like to play that for you too, Jeff.
Would love to hear it.
Okay. If you're just tuning in now, you're listening to Sandy Kastel and Friends Variety Show, and that was my dad, Dick Kastel, playing out at Sienna's on Sunday. Wasn't that nice, Jeff?
That's a Barry sack. Is that a Barry sack?
No, it's a tenor, but he uses, he has that warm, big sound. He uses a certain kind of mouthpiece, that gets that really big sound.
Oh, it sounds so warm, and I mean that's just. I mean, look, you played my song, and then you played that, and I'm like, okay. I mean, well, that's a whole different ball game right there.
I know, but what's cool is it's all tied together, right, Chef Michael?
Oh yeah.
And Chef Michael is a drummer, and he's very modest. He's also a great singer, and we really would love for you to come out next Wednesday or any Wednesday that you're here in the next few weeks, because we're going to be playing out at Sienna's Italian Authentic Trattoria Wednesday nights, and you got to call and make reservations if you want to come in, because it's getting packed every night. So, but music is music, and I want to thank you for coming on our show, Jeff. It's so good to hear your music and find out all about you. And obviously, we're just touching on a little bit of what you're all about, and now you're here in Las Vegas, and we look forward to hearing more about you and what you're doing.
Well, good luck,
from
and you know what? I will definitely make my way out there one of these Wednesday nights, and I totally, really appreciate your time playing the music, indulging me, asking me about my career, and thank you so much for your time, and it's just great to be surrounded by great personalities on the radio and wonderful musicians and music, like your father and Jeff and everybody here. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Jeff. Sorry, I'm looking at Timmons. Listen, also, we want you to call back and give us a shout out. We're going to do that with our engineer, John. He's actually our production engineer. Production of everything is John Lindquist. And then what is your website? Is it jefftimmons.com?
Yep, jefftimmons.com. Check it out, and you can find out all the new stuff. We got some new and exciting things happening very, very, very soon here. So thank you so much
for looking forward to hearing
giving me the plug. I appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, Jeff. Have a great day.
You too. Thanks so much, you guys.
Thank you. So So, Chef Michael, you've been so quiet here. I guess when we don't have anybody sitting in the room here, you got kind of get lost.
Nope, not really. I'm just giving it courtesy to have other people speak.
No, that's nice of you. Sure. And what would you like to tell the audience right now?
Not a damn thing.
See, he had to say the D word.
Not nothing.
Well, anyway, I'm so excited about everything that we're doing over at Sienna's, and also what we're doing for WEMA. And we've got an event coming up on the 20th, which is not this Saturday, but next Saturday. So you got to get come on out and join us on September the 20th for WEMA event, our WEMA luncheon. We're going to have the Chad Michaels Trio. We're going to have some special guests coming and sitting in with us, and we're going to have a special speaker. So give me a call, 702-348-5707. That's 702-348-5707. And go to our website, WIMA, W-I-M-A Foundation.org. That's W-I-M-A Foundation.org. Become a member for just $35 a year and come out to our luncheons and join us and help us empower artists of all ages through education, mentoring, and scholarships. And we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is Friday already. Oh my gosh. And tomorrow morning we've got Jim Brickman with us tomorrow morning at KLAV 12:30 a.m. at 9 a.m. in the morning. See you then. Bye.